All right. Well, welcome everybody. This is our Money Making Monday lifestyle and legacy conversation. And as we jump into the conversation, I do want to make sure that we get some understanding out of the way. This is a conversation, not a presentation. Everybody understand the difference between a conversation and a presentation? What's the difference? Well, conversation, we interact. We talk about what's important to us. I try to make a point to find out some key things for everyone participating. So drop in the chat where you're from, and if you had access to unlimited time and unlimited money, what would you do with your valuable time? That makes sense? Unlimited time, unlimited money. What would you do? Who would you be? Who would you bless? All right, I'll give those answers some time to roll in and reflect. And I make that bold claim on a Monday. Traditionally, we set this meeting up intentionally to happen on the day of the week where most people, out of a sense of frustration, give up on their dreams. It's Monday. It's the first day of the week, beginning of the week. A lot of people just went back from spring break. And what you find in America, there is a unique trend that most heart attacks occur on Monday morning between 7 a.m. and 9 a.m. as people go off to do a job that their heart isn't in, and it attacks them. We here to reverse the curse, to talk about building lifestyle and legacy and how we can make the question I asked at the beginning a reality for you by making wealth real. How many of you want to be wealthy?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely, yes.
I do want to double check that kind of question on a call like today, on a day like today, because in reality, I was one of those people that had done the things that they said to do. They said go to school and get good grades. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. By the way, where's everybody from? Tennessee, Nashville, got some Kentucky in the house, Alabama. Here's a question. They said go to school and get good grades. Yes.
Yes.
They said go to college, get a degree. Yes.
Yes.
Then they said once you got that college degree, you'll be able to get a good job with benefits and live happily ever after. Did they say that to you? Yes.
Yes.
Did anybody else do the things that they said to do and find themselves in financial frustration when the things they said to do didn't work for you the way that you expected?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, yeah.
Meaning I'm I consider myself one of the good kids. I went and did the things they said to do, got the good grades, went off to Duke University, double majored, electrical engineering and computer science. I had a major and a backup major and got out into the workplace. And when the one good job that I had wasn't doing enough, at the time I first heard this conversation, I had two jobs and a side hustle. And I found myself with the frustration of just feeling like I should be further along. Anybody ever just want their money to go further with them?
Absolutely.
Yes, and in my frustration was, well, how am I going to keep up this lifestyle? How am I going to sustain this income, sustain my health, and at the same time create wealth? And I was so blessed to be introduced to this conversation by someone that I love dearly. He happens to be my younger brother, but sponsor into this wealth community. And for those of you that are taking notes, write that down. It's a wealth community, make wealth real, where our goal is to connect lifestyle and legacy. And again, it's not a presentation, it's a conversation. But here's a reality for most people. When it comes to the lifestyle of our dreams, being able to travel, being able to do what we want to do, when we want to do it, with the people whom we choose to do it with, until we're tired of doing that thing. But most people on Monday get up and they have to go to work. What if at the end of all of those years of working hard, are the things that we're doing today putting us in a place where we're creating the legacy our family deserves? Like somebody asked me a question the other day, and it was jarring because they asked, what do you remember about your great grandfather? And I said, ooh, I cannot accurately recall his name without looking in the Bible. He said, no, don't worry. It's not just you. It's most people. It just means he didn't leave you anything. And when they say leave you anything, it's not just he didn't leave money. It's a set of instructions for creating a lifestyle where you live in such a way that the legacy that you build on the back end connects you for generations to where you become that picture on the mantelpiece. Like our dad had a picture. Wait, let me check y'all's age group. Do y'all remember the show Dallas?
I can go there.
Where
Larry, with them two elevators on the right, one elevator on the right open up.
Yeah.
So we catch Larry's iPad. There we go. All right, Larry. When you get back to us, we'll take you off mute. But I do want to make sure that people get this idea. Jock Ewing was the father at Fort Worth in Dallas, and he had this big picture on the mantelpiece as the one that originated the legacy, and it was carried on through the generations. Well, in real life, we have the opportunity through joining this wealth community to have a set of strategies, because it's not your work ethic that's the problem. It's that most of us have been put in a position where we were sent to work for money, but not taught to have money work for us. Well, with Make Wealth Real, our goal, our mission is to reverse that curse through our lifestyle and legacy membership. It's an invitation-only community where you get access to a confidential and professional set of experts you can trust to help create the leverage that we want in our lives. Everybody say leverage.
Average.
When it comes down to it, if you ever feel like you don't have enough, you don't have enough time, you don't have enough money, it turns out that for most people, what we don't have enough of is leverage in our lives. And the only way to get more done with less is to have a set of experts that help you do one of the three things. How many of you would love to keep more of the money that you make?
Absolutely.
Is there anybody out here that would love to have somebody show you how to have your money work for you?
Sure.
And then last but not least, once you've gotten out there, gotten into the position to build the assets to have it protected generationally, well, that's what our experts do. They help us grow by first getting the money back from the thieves that took it, but then giving us legacy strategies to grow that money. Like if in real life, if you're frustrated on a daily basis with the amount of money left at the end of the work, it's likely, let me look at you when I say this so that I see the reaction. It's likely that you've got a great job, but your money's unemployed, because most of us weren't taught to put our money to work. Money should have one job, that's to multiply and to have money babies. Here's the reality. Most of us weren't taught anything beyond get a checking account, savings account, put some money in your retirement account, that 401k. Is that what most of us were taught?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All we have to do is look at those accounts and the news to know that that strategy is not making wealth real for us. Meaning if I had $50,000, right? And I said, I'm going to take my $50,000 to the bank for them to grow it in my savings account. What is the bank paying in interest right now? Let me give you a hint, clue. 0.01%. So if I gave them my $50,000, I ain't touch it for a year, Rail. At the end of the year, do you know what I would get in exchange for my $50,000 and my time and patience? $5. $5. Now, in the meantime, the bank would take that $50,000. They'd invest. They'd put it into mortgages, student loans, credit cards, all kinds of different vehicles. And at the end of the day, they flip the process that banks use to multiply our money. They call it arbitrage. In real life, they are flipping our money in the streets and then send rejection letters when we go to borrow the money that got direct deposited from our check.
Wow.
And then all you got to do is look at the stock market the last week. How many of you seen somebody had a 401k that went to a 911k to a 411k? Where is it? Market looks like a roller coaster right now as President Trump gets out there and talks about tariffs. But you know what has not been affected? It's our legacy strategies. I mean, if you think about it, if you can put your money to work so that you can multiply and safely protect your money without risk of loss as the stock market goes crazy, that just makes sense to do, yes?
Yes.
That's what our
Yes.
self-banking strategies and private reserve accounts do for us. They put us in a position where we can have the opportunity to make money, have our money make more money without us having a risk of loss, and then have access to the money tax-free. It just makes sense. But then we also get to invest in legacy assets. And here's a clue to how you can look at in legacy producing income asset. What was around when Jesus was? Let me give you a hint. Land,
Land.
silver,
Yeah.
gold, precious metals. Market goes up and down, but these precious metals, the primary wealth assets, are still growing in value. And MWR has multiple strategies to give us access to precious metals and land banking in our portfolio, so that now we get to have the assets, but then using the system of trust, be able to eliminate taxes and protect our assets. This is how you live and leave a legacy. It's got to look, something's got to work. It just doesn't have to be you. Put your money to work, put the land to work, put the silver to work. And when we tell people about this, I want you to think about the power of our precious metals platform and what happens when you're able to think about this. When you join MWR, become a member of our legacy and lifestyle community, you have the option to buy precious metals. You also have the option to be paid in precious metals. Yeah. And then those metals, your silver, your palladium, your gold, stored in our private depository, only secured Black-owned depository in America. It's like Fort Knox in Dallas. And then have an asset management system where the experts actually go out and find enterprises that leverage the precious metals and pay us a dividend. They earn monthly income. So now you've got something that's not only going up in value, but you're getting paid to own it every month. And now you get caught up in a vicious cycle where, as the money makes more money, your real money, your precious metals, buy more precious metals, so that you get caught in a vicious cycle of your money making more money, multiplying, and having money babies. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
It's probably better if I show you a picture. Meaning, think about this. Let's say, for the sake of this conversation, you have $50,000 to invest. If somebody had $50,000 to put to work, would you put it to work?
For sure.
Oh, by the way, if you don't, stay tuned. We do have some strategies in place where we have a team of experts that'll get you that first $50,000 to get you started through business funding. Meaning, if you didn't have an idea that would make money off $50,000, I'll give you one for free. Easy one. Low impact business, but we secure $50,000 in business funding for you. Oh, what's the catch, Rick? Oh, no catch. It's $50,000 guaranteed minimum, and we'll fund you every year as long as you keep your commitment. Well, what do I do with the $50,000? My suggestion: invest in precious metals with a leasing contract. That $50,000 on average, they say it pays between 2% and 5%. Let's split the difference, call it 3%. That's $1,500 a month that your metal is making while you sit there. Does that make sense?
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, obviously, as business funding, it'll have a payment, about $500. That'll give you a clear cash flow from your $50,000 investment of $1,000 a month. That's $12,000 of additional profit that you have to reinvest. At the end of the month, at the end of the year, you end up with $62,000 in precious metals, but you started with, well, you started with zero. It takes about $3,000 to get the process started. We'll talk about how that works later. But in year two, they'll fund you again. So now you got your $62,000 and another $50,000 in funding. I want you to put this in your notes. Now you're leveraging other people's money. It's $112,000 going to work for you the next year, 3% per month. Now it's making $3,000 and $2,000 per month in profit. This is money making money. How many of you know some people that don't make $2,000 a month working? Yeah. And then now at the end of that year, just summing up what you had, you got $140,000 working off of $100,000. Get this, it wasn't your money when it started, but that $40,000 profit, that's yours growing. Does that make sense? Get to year
Hey.
3, it gets gooder at $190,000 going into the pot. Now your money's making $4,200 a month. By year 4, you've got a $6,725, almost $7,000 a month in profit. And you run this play for 5 years, just 5 years of funding. At the end of the process, you now have a $500,000 precious metal asset that is paying you $10,000 a month. Now, I know it's only valued at $500,000, but $10,000 a month is about what $1 million would make.
Yes, sir.
If you had 10% on it. And what did you start with? $3,000 to get the process started.
Yeah.
Now, this table is an example, but here's the power of that example. MWR Precious Metals Leasing, we're in the pre-launch phase. Within the next 2 or 3 days, there'll be an announcement where people are having access to get their precious metals leases in place. You got to get started now to get ahead of the curve. Am I making sense?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
I know it's a lot, but here's what somebody said, Chuck. Somebody said, but it takes $3,000 to get to here. I don't have the $3,000. Well, don't worry. It's not just you. It's most people in America. Most people don't have enough money to invest because they don't have lifestyle strategies in place. What do our lifestyle strategies do? They shift your money back into your pocket from the government, banks, and big business. Meaning most of us have had $1 million in our lifetime. It's just most of it got funneled through one of those 3 entities. Yes or yes?
Yes.
But think about what your check would look like if that line at the top didn't have so much taken off in taxes. What if you didn't have any debt the day that the check came in and you had your money available to put to work by lowering your bills, by getting your healthcare costs down, restoring your credit, and even being in a position to turn your rent into home ownership? Well, here's the shift that happens. When you get your money back into your life, your lifestyle improves. Average member, just by leveraging the expert. So now we've gone from leveraging other people's money to leveraging other people's expertise. The experts do the work, but the average member gets a $2,000 savings back into their life from working with the experts. And let me see, I see some other folks out here now. I see some cameras off. Is there anybody like to share what the experts were able to do to them to move money back into their homes? While I'm waiting, I'll share what they did for me, because this is why I'm even on this Zoom, meaning I got access to this team of experts. They helped me increase my paycheck from my job, $636 per check. That's $1,272 in taxes that I was overpaying. How many of you, if you found an extra $1,000 in your paycheck, could figure out something better to do with it than give it to them?
Me.
And then they showed me how to pay off $50,000 in credit card debt. Do not judge that credit. I don't know what you listen. That put another $1,500 a month of cash flow back into our house by getting rid of the debt, showing me systematically how to eliminate $225,000 in payments. Then getting the credit score from the 700s up to the 800s and beyond. And now with lowering the bills, and I'm talking about regular bills. Does everybody have a cell phone bill?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Everybody pay money for the internet,
Yep.
Yes, sir.
TV, pest control.
Yep.
Think about if you had a team of experts that got all those bills down as low as possible, so you had as much of your money as possible. Say you got another $2,000 in your house this month. It would only take you 2 months to have the $2,000 that'll get the $3,000 that'll get you to $50,000. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Now, before I go on, is there anybody else who wants to jump in and share what the experts have done for them? Because there's one more thing that's critical for us to leverage.
Well, I can go ahead and share mine if anyone else wants to share. So
jump in.
So I did work with the experts. They helped me get back an extra $220 back on my paycheck. Right. So just doing a W-4 adjustment, and that was like the very next paycheck. Now, of course, that isn't retirement money, but that is definitely helpful money, because I used that and used the debt snowballing that they had in the back office, and I was to pay off $18,000 worth of debt in less than a year. And they also helped me get my credit score. My credit wasn't bad. I was already around the 750, 760 all the time. but they got me all the way up to an 823 on my credit score. Let me let you know. People treat you way different when your credit score 823. I promise you they do. So being able to take that and renegotiate a few things, pay some interest things down. So being in position where I was able to cash flow back into my house about $1,800 a month just on letting the experts do the work. And now I was able to put that money to work.
Awesome. Awesome. And this is what I want you to understand. Everybody's numbers and story will be different in terms of what the experts are able to do for you. But here's the guarantee. Most people have done the best they know how to do on their own. And the experts' results are guaranteed. They do the work, you get the results. Now, here's the last thing. This is what I want people to understand. At this point, Rail, most people are asking what's the gotcha, right?
Yes, sir.
The truth is, they already got you. They already got you. They already got your money at the banks. They already got your money down at the Department of Revenue. But what if for $149.97, you got access to everything we just shared? By the way, there's no contracts, no setup fees. Hey, baby. It includes you and your spouse and a team of experts that do all the work. Hang on. Speaking of legacy, someone is here to say hello. Hey. Hey, everybody.
Hey,
Baby.
hey.
Children and his children's children. That's my children's child right there. My child's child. My child's child. But where was I before I got distracted by overflow of cuteness? Oh, no contracts. It includes you and your spouse. And as the experts do the work and you get the results, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. Meaning, if you try us in this, put the experts to work in our opportunity, our strategies, our experts can't put more money in your pockets than the cost of the membership, we'll give you your money back. Like, it wasn't even about your little $149. It was understanding that when people don't pay, they don't pay attention. But here's the real risk. The biggest risk in any of our lives is we continue to do the same thing, expecting to get a different result. With here, we're upgrading the conversation, upgrading the community, and that makes MWR the perfect business, because there's somebody out there that said, even with $149.97 a month, I need a way to fund my money machine. And that's where MWR made the perfect business, because in addition to leveraging other people's money in the silver precious metals example, other people's expertise with the lifestyle strategies, you also get to leverage other people's time. Because think about this idea. This is the perfect business, because where else can you get paid every day while someone else does the work for you and for anybody that you tell about? Like, you never have to be their tax professional, Chuck. Is that relieving?
Yes, indeed.
Yes,
William, do
sir.
you love the idea of not having to formulate somebody's debt snowball?
So that's right.
Experts do that work, and you get to do what work you were put here to do. Now, what is it called required to become a business partner, a lifestyle and legacy coach? It's a $249.97 startup cost. It's a $100 one-time startup fee. And of course, to be a lifestyle and legacy coach, you also have to be a member. $149.97. Well, what does that get you? Well, first, you get that team of experts to help you keep, grow, and protect your money and your asset. How many of you want to keep your money? How many of you want to grow your money? And how many want somebody to help you do it? You also get to leverage experts, strategies, and leaders and their business systems to grow your business. I want you to think about even the concept of this Zoom that we're on right now, this particular online presentation. I asked the question, who invited you to this conversation? So I could ask you this question right now. Look at the person that invited you. What are they doing right now? Put this in your notes. Nothing. Well, no, I take that back. They are listening, learning, and leveraging our expertise and testimony. And when action happens, they get paid for work they didn't do. How many of you could stand to cash a check for somebody else speaking on your behalf?
Definitely.
And here's the best part. It's designed to produce yet another system of profit by giving us the simple leverage of helping other people, meaning the more people that we help, the bigger our checks go. The company pays anywhere from $5 to $15,000 per day based on the size of your referral network. Now, I know somebody's out there saying, but I don't know 33,000 people. You don't have to. Do you know 3? Like, if just for the sake of this conversation, you knew me, Chuck, and Rel, and the 3 of us got started in business. I just went with the first 3 live cameras with faces I saw, by the way. If you shared this with the 3 of us, is it safe to say that we get started in business with you?
Yes, sir.
Now, when the 3 of us get started, our simple mission is to do what you did. Meaning, I go out, I share the conversation, I invite people to the Zooms and the living rooms. I let God sort them out, but 3 people get started with me, 3 people get started with Chuck, 3 people get started with Rel. That's 9 more people in your referral network that you did not know. I want you to put that in your notes. You didn't even know them, but would you help them?
Absolutely.
That's how you get to a team of 12. Now, here's the blessing in this business. A team of 12 pays you $600 a month. You only need 5 good months at that pace to have the $3,000 you need to get funded for $50,000. Oh, but wait, the 12 people didn't get started to be the 12 people in your team. When they refer some more, you get to a team of just 36. Now you have $1,500 a month. Now you got a comma in your income, and you can build it as big as you want to. And here's the thing. Once people get started building, being excited about sharing something, you can't stop their excitement. I mean, just ask Chuck how it feels to be a regional director, right? Being in a place where, I mean, he still has full-time job, flies all over the country on behalf of his daytime job, but at the same time earns a full-time income on a part-time basis from his living room. That makes sense. So just think about, as these lifestyle and legacy bonuses build, you have the option of being paid some in US cash and some in precious metals. Now you got leverage of other people's money, other people's time, and other people's expertise. And that's how we make wealth real. All you got to do is ask, where is your number on here? Like, what number would have to show up in your mailbox on a monthly basis for you to call in to work dead? He ain't gonna make it. We get to have a good time here, but here's the blessing. As we build the awareness of the value of expertise and experts doing the work while you get paid, we put you in a place where even when people get business funding, you get paid. And we teach you step for step and word for word how to do what we do. Now, I do want to put ahead of time, just let you know, there's some events coming up over the next few weeks. Pay close attention as we teach people how to really maximize these income producing assets. Because understand, income follows asset. If you don't have income coming in without you going out, is not enough assets at your house. Here's the goal. We want to get enough income producing assets so that our can sit down. And here's the reality. Our members and the results already speak for themselves. Our company already has people getting paid every day. We've got $1 million residual income earners. We got people saving money. We got people earning interest instead of paying it. We got people buying and building their dream homes. We got people with their dream cars, living their lifestyle, leaving legacies for their families. With what we do, it's a win-win. All we do is win. Everyone gets an opportunity to win with MWR. The only one missing at this point is you. So at this point, I'm done with the overview. I want to say up front, this was an overview, a quick conversation so that you were aware of the choices that most people make. Meaning, you just got to let the person that invited you know, do you want some of the money or all of the money? Notice I said some or all of the money, because if you're out there saying you ain't want none of the money, there's other things that you lie about too.
I know that's right.
Membership only. It's $149.97 a month investment. Money back guarantee. If the experts can't put more than that back into your pocket, they willingly part ways. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
But if you understand the economic climate that we live in right now in this United States of America, you understand the power of, first of all, being in business but second of all, being on the road to wealth.
Yes, sir.
We get paid up front and long term. We're going to go through a quick training about how the system works to get you started in the mindset. And specifically, we're going to talk about the process of educating people about what we know, knowing that the financial education system in America is broken and designed to produce broke-minded people. We got to teach them some strategies that create wealth. So with that said, text a person, let them know I want some of the money or all the money. Get started now. We have just a few days before those precious metal leasing contracts start and people start to understand and embrace the power of making wealth real. Training's going to start. We're going to stop this recording and start right up after. So we'll do